This is the pre-recorded lecture about the first day warm-up. So if you look at here, the first question is write the code to sum an array. If you see there, it's not saying what kind of array, so you can think about two types of the array we learned last year. One was the integer type array, the other one was double type array. So decimal numbers and integer numbers. So I recommend you are going to find both way. So I'm going to make the first one integer type array sum. In that case, you are going to say some variable as integer type because the values are integers. So int sum will start with 0. Then you are going to go through every value. There are two ways you can think about. You have index number. I'm going to say in the case 0, case less than. I assume the array name is just the array. So array.length and k plus plus. Then you are going to add all the values into the sum. You can use a plus equal or sum equals the previous sum plus new values. So I'm going to say array k. Then this is sum. There's another way. I can now think about how about the array is double type. In that case, my sum variable must be double type. Double. Then you can say 0 or 0.0. When you put 0, the Java will do auto boxing, so change it to 0.0. Then I'm going to go through the for loop again. This time I'm going to enhance the for loop. That means I'm going to have only two things. One is the value, so I'm going to say each value will be double type. Then I'm going to name it as well, colon. Now I'm going to go through every value in the array, so I'm going to just say array. This one, we call it as for each or enhance the for loop. You can use this one only when you need to go through every single value of the array. If you have to stop somewhere, or if you are going through in the middle to the end, you are going to use a regular for loop with index number. Anyway, I'm going to come back to here. Now I'm going to get cumulative sum by doing plus equal again. This time I can just use val. So we went over two ways, depends on what kind of array. Now I'm going to assume sum has the value. Then number 2, given this header, complete the method. So in the number 1, if I was thinking about the integer type array, it was okay. I'm going to finish this method. First, this one is the return method. So you have to have return value. In the most case, I'm going to say if I have a return value, I get the name it about the return type variable. So double like a to return. In this case, I need to return the average, so I'm going to just name it as average. Then you are going to give a kind of initial value. I don't know yet. I can just give like a 0.0 just in case. Then I'm going to get the average. To calculate the sum, average, I need to get the sum. So I can just try that, like int array. So int sum equals 0. Then I have to do all of them again. This time I'm going to use enhance the root for integer array. So in this case, this is a column. I'm going to write like this. Then sum plus equal val. Now I'm going to calculate the average and return that. So I'm going to say average will be the sum divided by how many? How many will be in this case array the length? Then there is a problem. Integer divided by integer will return integer. So I probably need to casting at least one of them as double. So I'm going to say instead of just sum, I'm going to write casting double, then sum divided by array length. Then finally, I need to return the average. Wait a minute. I can make it short. So I'm going to say, in this case, it's special. I don't really have to declare average at the beginning. So I'm going to say, not here. Put the double to declare at the end. Wait, even as soon as I calculate, I return that. That means I can skip all those apart. Like using average, I just return the final calculation. But I still need some variable because outside of the for loop needs to know what is a sum. So this is a final answer for me for number 2. Now let's say number 3. Write a valid call for the method find the average. Let's go back to the find the average method header. This is the static. That means you are going to call it with the class name, or you are going to just call it without object. Because static means this is the class method. So I'm going to call. I assume I am in the same class. In the same class, I'm going to pass array to the find average. So call find average. Then I'm going to just pass array name. That's it. But there is a problem because this one returns double value average. Then if I just call the method, it will not do anything. So there are 2 ways you can think about. You can store it. So for example, I can say double average equals find average array. Or you can print it. So system dot out dot print line. Then you are going to call find average array. So there are 2 ways you can think about. Store into a variable or print out. This is the answer key of warm-up